So, yes, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. It's nice to see all of you guys here. Again, I haven't been here since last week, Wednesday, I believe. And I do not like that sound that I keep hearing when you guys, type. Not that I don't like you, but yeah, that sound gets to me. Anyways, it's nice to see you guys here. And I am hoping that this stream will open your eyes, right? So basically, after we go through the information that will be delivered right now, I'm just saying this, you will not, you won't need to be here anymore, right? Because it is that good, right? It's really just that good, right? Don't take it lightly, right? I think some of the guys from the 2024 group are here, right? Some of them are here. They're pretty, knowledgeable about this topic as well, right? And before going into it, this is just one of the ways that you can use this, right? And there's nothing that I will do that is random, right? If I tell you guys something that, okay, expect price to do this here, and if it happens, the reason why I gave you that move to look out for is due to the fact that, the thing, it is aligning with, a future teaching or with, a past teaching. So yes, you guys can see that, this week was not the best week to trade. The best weeks to trade, and this is very important what I'm telling you right now, are basically, weeks that have, CPI, FOMC, and what else? NFP, right? Those weeks will give you the most volatility, right? Those weeks will be, easier to navigate. Let's just say that. Weeks that do not have bank holidays, right? So you guys can see, Monday we had a bank holiday, but then we had Trump speaking. We would not do anything on this day, right? Then Tuesday we had no news. Wednesday we had no news. And then here we had, the president of the United States speaking again, right? I would consider these days, but, if you were trading, a higher time frame premise or, a higher time frame move, which is based off of at least the 4-hour time frame, then none of this would matter. The only thing that you would look for is what? Sequential SMT. What I am going to show you right now. Maybe many of you have heard it before. You've seen it been leaked before, right? But this is something that, it's based off of quarterly theory, right? And no one else talks about this shit, right? No one else before me spoke about this shit, right? If you know SMT, you're 10% there already. Right? And it's not just that, it's just, a strategy and it's, a nice play on words, sequential SMT. It's something that works, right? Anyways, the time that we looked at the futures triad, and you guys already know what the futures triad is, right? It's comprised of these 3 main asset classes, right? The S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and the Dow, right? Here you can see that, okay, we have SMT at these lows, but what makes this SMT special? What makes it special? Okay, there's a lot of things right here that we could talk about, but no, we're just going to talk about one. Right? And remember that while price was trading here, right, on this candle right here, what did we expect? Higher prices. And it was not I was not being vague or anything like that. What did we say? We should expect higher prices. There's SMT. I just did not tell you that there is sequential SMT, because, then where would the lesson be in that, right? So below these lows, right, or a separation of different times, which are what? In the form of quarters, right? Someone's saying that they can't hear anything. Please let the person know that they'll be able to hear it after the recording is posted, right? So now, right, I turn the special indicator on, right? You can see that this blue right here, what does it represent? The fourth quarter of the previous year. So this is the fourth quarter of 2024, and this right here is the first quarter of this year, right? So as you guys can see, this low right here and this low right here, well, this is the lowest close of the previous quarter, right? It was formed here. This low failed to break below this low during this specific period of time, right? And you look at the Nasdaq, the same thing happened. But wow, in the Dow, what happened? The Dow broke below the previous quarter of, which is the fourth quarter of the previous year. So this is Q1, right? Right here is Q1. From this period of time going forward, that's Q1, right? Was formed in Q4. But Q1's within the Dow, Q1's low was lower than the low in Q4, whereas within the Nasdaq, it was higher than the low in Q4 during Q1, and the same thing for the S&P 500. So simply what we're saying here, and there will be another lecture that will expound upon this, which is pre-recorded from last year, that you should study as well as this, right? Here we're talking about live price action, what to expect, right? We already saw the move that we should expect, and it played out very fruitfully, right? It was not as clean as one would want it to be, but it did happen, right? And this is the type of price action that you should expect to happen, during January, right? It's January, right? I've said this before, if there's 2 months that I would not want to do anything in, it's December and it's January, right? Okay, now what could we expect? Okay, we're gonna expect those highs to be blown right out, right? First the S&P 500, then the Nasdaq, then we'll see what happens in regards to the Dow. But for sure, and we highlighted these highs before since price was here, and we got price to do exactly what we expected it to do. Another thing you should understand, this is not clean price action, right? We'll see cleaner price action next month, and then as we get close to the third quarter of the year, we'll just be seeing every month get better, right? This thing right here, sequential SMT, what is sequential SMT? Sequential SMT is SMT between quarters. So you can have sequential SMT between Q1 and Q2, between Q2 and Q3, between Q3 and Q4, and what resets the cycle is SMT between Q4 and Q1, right? I'm going to actually upload 2 specific lectures that are pre-recorded that you guys, should watch. Another thing that you guys should learn is the revolving true open. right? So the revolving true open, exists only when you have sequential SMT. So in the case of here, right, where you have sequential SMT between the fourth quarter and the first quarter, right? Now, that's the only thing that we'll refer to, fourth quarter and the first quarter. We don't have to talk about if it's the yearly cycle, the monthly cycle, the weekly cycle, the 90-minute cycle. It just doesn't matter, right? It's fractal, right? This is the way how price operates, right? This is what it does, and that's it, right? There are a few other factors, that would make this more high probability that, the guys from 2024, they can see exactly what I'm talking about right here, but you can't see it, right? You can't see it yet. Please don't talk about it. We'll talk about this very soon, right? And yeah. So the revolving true open would be the opening of the, quarter that kicks off the SMT. Right? That's what it is. So this right here would be the revolving true open, the opening of Q of the second quarter right here, which is an involvement with the SMT, the sequence SMT, because there's two quarters that have to be involved, right? The last group that we had, they did not get the revolving true open until the second month, right? They did not. But, right, I can tell you we have, more things in store, more things coming, but I don't want you guys to believe that I am trying to get you to stay here, right? I believe that, if you should stay here, it should be just, based off of you liking the way that I teach, you liking the information, and you finding it useful so far. So if I go a month and you don't get something that you don't find useful, then it's over, right? That's just what it is. It's not about like this, like truthfully, it's not about money like that right now at all, right? It's, this year is about, handcrafting some of you guys and having you guys just blow up with the help of the group of 2024, right? That's what it is. And just trying to acknowledge, the hardship that previous group have went through to see, who's the best, who's actually the best. Basically, that's what it is. And here you guys can see that right here we have a gap, right? And I will post, a supplementary lecture about gaps as well, and highs and lows. And yes, so this how the schedule will be, I believe we will have Jacob going either Sundays or Mondays. Truthfully, I should be going on Wednesdays. Then we have another, maybe Lawson go Friday, and then sometimes you'll have Medic on Saturday. So you should be getting at least 3 to 4 lectures every week, right? So yes, we're gonna have to fix that. Okay, let me know if you guys can see this. Can you see this dot? Okay, you can. Okay, cool. So this right here, this gap, this is a balanced price range. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry, right? As I said, I'm going to post a pre-recorded lecture that will explain this better, right? Well, there will be 2 pre-recorded lectures, right? So here, price broke below this low, And doing so, there's a higher time frame low to the left, right here, which price failed to break below, while we have the Dow breaking in below its low, which formed at this time, creating sequential SMT. That is the catalyst that led to price running higher. That's why when I believe this candle was printing, was it this candle right here? Don't remember, it was around here though. We expected what? Higher prices. People usually, have a problem, with trading gaps like this, right? Well, I would consider this as a liquidity void, not a gap, right? But you usually see price just break here below this low right here in the gap, below the open of the gap, then just rally. Why? That's due to the fact that we have this guy around here, right? This is the balanced price range, right? This is the base of, that caused price to run higher, right? So first we had the higher time frame sequential SMT. Then we had what has happened? Price was trading below the revolving true open, right? Where is the 1st of January? Right here. Open up this candle, draw it out in time, price traded below, there was sequential SMT, price run higher, above this high right here, dropped again into this balanced price range, then it continued higher. So the reason why this continued higher is not because of the gap. The reason why it continued higher is not because of this low here. The reason why it continued higher is not because we had buy side liquidity here and buy side liquidity here and liquidity here for price to reach for either. It's just because we had a crack in correlation in the form of sequential SMT, because there are many cracking correlations that we have to go through. Right? So there's this that you'll see happen a lot, right? It's very common for this to happen, right? You'll see price leave these clean lows right here. Then you'll just be like, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Well, we already talked about why it happened, right? And this is why, going forward, you cannot be focusing on one asset. You need 3 assets, right? 3, especially if you're, focusing on the ES or the NASDAQ. You need 3 asset classes: the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. That's your triad. You need 3 of those to be looking at the same time. And that's where you will gather, most of the information that you need to read the marketplace, right? Up here, you can see that we have these highs that are, relatively equal highs. Once you see price, just within this range right here, which I would consider as the gray area, right? So if price before this happened right here, before price traded higher right here, before price even broke below these lows right here, this would be considered as the gray area, right? When price is here, you don't know what to expect, right? For you to know what to expect, there's one of 2 things that you need to happen. Either price is going to trade above this high, or trade close to this high and fall after sequential SMT, or that same thing will occur here. Price run below these lows, there's SMT or sequential SMT that's created, or price fails to break below these lows, which is what happened, and then we have price just rushing higher, right? So I hope that this is something that can help you to more understand price. There are two more lectures that will be posted, right? One will be, helping you to more understand gaps, and the main types of gaps are just the main types of PD arrays that you need to understand. And then there will be another lecture that will be posted on sequential SMT, right? So I believe that, I'm not sure who will be holding a lecture tomorrow or maybe tonight. Truthfully speaking, right? I'm actually just coming back to my, let's say, to my senses, but I'm actually just getting back active, right? So the next time we will be talking will be next week. Next week we'll be actually having two more lectures, which are pre-recorded. They're structured for you to, understand press action as how I understand press action, right? There are some things that I have in store as well, which are generally for the class of 2024, but I believe that I will be sharing half of the privileges with you guys, right? As soon as everything is, back to normal, which should be happening very, very soon, right? With this tool that I've just shared with you, Sequence SMT, right? Don't just watch the lectures once. Watch them more than once and take notes. The magic happens when you are backtesting, right? So this is the actual mentorship right now. You want to learn how to read price like me, right? This is the mentorship. The mentorship isn't just, all the technical stuff. No. You need to apply these things to your charts, right? You need to plot them to your charts. You need to take notes. You need to put them on your walls. You need to look at them every morning, every night, right? I have over 10,000 hours of, chart time. You need to be trying to get at least half of that. It takes a lot of work, and it's not going to be easy to understand. But it is possible because I have some of these guys from 2024 that are crazy that you can see, right? They're all over Twitter, and some people consider them, they're leakers or whatever it is. I don't consider them as leakers. I just, whatever they want to do, right? They paid for the information, they learned, they mastered it. And it's very good to see that, just to see people texting me, your information really helped me, all the emails, it's very good, right? So I just want you guys to take the information seriously. Only apply what I talk about, right? If I don't talk about it, it's not important. That's it. If I don't talk about it, it's not important. And you need to go into your charts and prove me wrong that this shit does not work. With that being said, we'll be talking next week again. You already know the time. It will be posted for you guys to see. Ciao.